On this spot, everything they didn't tell you about the city you live in.
Who are we talking to, and what are you best known for?
I'm Zed, and I run the YouTube channel On This Spot, where I post videos about supernatural occurrences that have happened in Vancouver. I used to be an everyday stoner working in a bookstore, but then the VPD's paranormal squad kicked in my door and tried to arrest me for putting up videos on my channel. I've been on the run ever since then, living in the city but off the grid with a gang of like-minded individuals who agree that the people of Vancouver deserve to know what's going on.
People have been finding On This Spot stickers around Vancouver lately. What can you tell us about that?
There's something happening around here and nobody wants to talk about it. Pyramids of flesh floating in the sky, rains of colored cubes, a red-walled church that appeared in a park for several days eating anybody who went into it, cursed convenience stores, innocent people experiencing so-called cerebral mutations, freaky individuals with surreal abilities, sometimes helping folks and sometimes preying on us like wolves among sheep.
What inspired you to start this project?
I think it's important to remember that sublimely magical interactions with reality aren't limited to religious temples and psychedelic trips. We're surrounded by invisible worlds every day. The atoms that make up the gutters and the alleys are just as old as the stars, and the people who live in these spaces have lives just as magical and important as any guru or cosmic king.
How do you find out about these stories?
A few months back, an old man in my apartment building went missing, and I found this busted-up laptop he'd been using to make video files about the weird stuff that's been going on in Vancouver for the past 50 years. The files are corrupted and full of weird glitches, so I'm working to salvage what I can. Every time I fix a new one, I locate the spot in the city where it took place and put up some stickers to mark it. And then I put the video up online so anybody who finds the stickers can learn the whole story.
Where can people find these stickers so far?
They tend to show up in Northeast Van, the Hastings area and downtown, parts of the city that aren't being looked after where a bit of the wild sneaks back in. Abandoned, overlooked spaces where weeds and graffiti get to grow.
What can people expect to find if they follow the link on the stickers?
It's a horror story that we're all trapped in, but sometimes it's kind of magical, even whimsical. There's parts that are supposed to be funny to somebody, but I'm not really in on the joke since I'm living with the punchlines. It's surreal. Sublime is a word that comes up sometimes, which is, I guess, when cosmic horror has a cozy vibe.
Is there anything else you'd like our readers to know about you or this project?
I see people using a lot of weird terms online for the videos. Weirdcore, dreamcore, analog horror, ARG, creepypasta, and unfiction, just to name a few. I have no idea what any of that means, but I think it must sort of communicate the tone of the project. One guy said it's a multimedia narrative experience, but for me, it's just my life.
Do you smoke grass?
I would not be able to handle this lifestyle if I didn't smoke weed. I suffer from acute anxiety, or at least I'm worried that I do, and weed helps me with getting high, so I don't notice the anxiety as much. Of course, sometimes it backfires and I get super anxious. But I figure being super high and super anxious is still better than just being regular anxious and not high at all.
Indica or sativa? Do you have a favorite strain?
Okay, so this is going to sound like crazy conspiracy talk, but one of my teammates or fellow gang members, her name's Fox Skull, and she dresses like that FBI agent from Twin Peaks, and she smokes so much weed it kind of scares me, and she says the whole thing is just psychosomatic. Indica and sativa aren't real, it's just a placebo effect, and we've all convinced ourselves. I know it sounds crazy, like some flat earth shit, but the more she explains it, the more I find myself kind of convinced. However, I do love a good blueberry, especially when you can really taste the berry.
What do you like to do most when you're stoned?
Sometimes after I smoke up, I'll go out to the places where I know things have happened and just try to imagine what it would be like to have lived through it, even the awful, scary stuff. It's like I meditate on the event and through that try to understand what it means in the larger sense and even what it would have felt like. You never know exactly what another person experienced, but Weed can help with empathy sometimes. And if you're existing on the east side, you got to stay empathetic. It's tough times in that region.
Do you think these events might just be the weed talking?
Honestly, that would be great. I'd rather just be a confused stoner than a confused stoner who's dealing with files that suggest a hostile ultra-terrestrial entity is staging a fascist takeover of all reality on a molecular level.
Famous last words?
All we want to do is raise awareness and get eyes on this thing, so any support is greatly appreciated. It's worth checking out if you want to know what's really been going on in Vancouver, or if you just want to hear some crazy shit while you're getting blazed.